So here you'll see us with Maximilian's 2011 Range Rover LR4, and we're going to do a front brake pad replacement. Hey, good morning guys. So we're changing the disc pads on the front of Maximilian's Range Rover here, and it's incredibly simple, so we don't have to go into a really long drawn out video, but you put a 17mm wrench on this bolt here when the things are connected, and then you put a 13mm socket on the outside, and you just unbolt the caliper. So the caliper sits in there just like that. Just hold this still, put your 13mm socket on the other side, pull that off, wiggle the whole caliper off, pull your old shoes out, put your new ones in, squash in your brake cylinders like that. You can do it with a huge set of pliers if you haven't got one of those, and you put it all back together again. It doesn't really get any simpler. So you also have a wire for your sensor, so
yep.
You wiggle it out.
That just pulls out from here when the caliper is on.
Yeah.
And I've got new sensors going, so hopefully that turns the brake light out.
Yep. And it's as simple as that. So I'm not going to get into a long drawn out video of it. Most of you guys will know what you're doing.
Yeah, this would be considered the LR4 model. If anybody's interested, I think it's pretty much the same for most Land Rovers. This is the Sport, but it's the LR4.
Yep. What he said. Hey guys, doesn't get any shorter and sweeter than that, but this short video should let you know how to do it. Maximilian's just putting the caliper back on now. You kind of have to depress these little suckers in. They're kind of spring loaded, and put your bolts back in, and then he'll show you how you slip in your sensor in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna run a new sensor first before I put this back in.
Okay.
Because I think there's a wear point on these, and that's why they go off. Although I'm thinking it's gonna be the other side, because these brake pads still had some life left to them, but it's gonna clip right into here. I think it's gonna slot in like that.
All right. Really simple. So even though the inside nut is a 17mm, it's really thin, and so unless you've got a really thin 17mm wrench, I would just go and get some what are they called?
Vice grips.
Vice grips. Yeah, in England we call them mold grips for some reason. Anyway, just get a thin set of vice grips and just hold that 17mm nut so it doesn't turn, and then tighten up your 13mm one with your socket. Now on the new sensors, which Max is going to put on, I guess they can get worn. You can see there's like little clips on them and stuff, but they just push in, so it's kind of nice and simple. And a lot of people, I don't know, it might be an American thing, but everybody seems to change their rotors like it going out of fashion. Whereas in England, we hardly ever do that unless they're damaged. I mean, God, I've had cars which are 40 years old which have never had the rotor done. So I'm not saying that's the right way to do it. I'm just saying I'm not quite sure why Americans change their rotor every time they do their brakes. Because in England, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to follow this sensor wire up into the engine bay.
Yeah.
Just unclipped it from a few little points here and put the new one on. Although I think this one is still good. I'm guessing the other side's gonna look a little bit more worn through. Or just might be covered with brake dust and it might be contacting metal there.
Yeah, so maybe just clean it up with a little wire brush or something, or maybe even a little bit of a...
I've got the new sensors,
yeah,
so...
Yeah, in this case, we're just putting new ones in. But, yeah, that's how we do it. So we're going to go around the other side. In fact, let me go around the other side, and then I can basically point it out to you and make it really simple. Actually, I'll let Maximilian turn the steering wheel to point this one out, so that we can see it. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you how to do this so that you don't have to watch a 20-minute video on it. So all you're going to do is remove this part of the disc brake caliper here. So you've got two 13-inch bolts here, which so you need a 13-inch socket, and this is 17mm, but because it requires quite a thin wrench, we're just going to use some vice grips on there. So just put your vice grip on here like so. See how thin that is?
There we go.
All right. Then these are normally torqued down to about 20 pounds, so they're not generally very tight. And
Pretty tight.
Yeah, pretty tight. I mean, it's old. Yeah.
They've got Loctite on them.
Yeah, they probably got Loctite on them. So Max is going to whip those two out. So on a side note, I'm just 30 hours away from reaching my 4,000 hours since starting my YouTube channel publicly just over 6 months ago. So that means it becomes monetized probably within the next 3 days. So thanks to everybody who's been watching my videos. That's really awesome to have reached over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours in just over 6 months. So hopefully my content will improve. All right, so we got the caliper off, and these things just slide out.
Yep.
Just use a
like that.
screwdriver.
Come out very easy.
Yeah. And normally in the box with the new disc brakes, you have the new springs, the metal springs.
Yeah, they're sitting on the other side of the car.
Yeah.
And they pop right up, and the new ones clip right back in.
Yeah.
There's one. And there's two.
Sweet.
So let me grab the other ones. I'm gonna hit this little bit of brake cleaner.
Yeah, just blast a bit of the old dirt off. Get it clean.
Need a new can.
Yeah. Tap your little spring clips back in. Make sure they're centralized.
Good. Pulls in nice and gently. Make sure it's staying in the clips properly before you do that.
And now it's just a matter of compressing the little pistons.
Yeah, and this little tool actually works really well, and it's quite basic.
Yeah.
So if you do need a tool, see if you can find something like that. You just want something fairly cheap.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can get it on Amazon or any auto store.
Yeah. I'm sure it would be called a
Caliper compressor?
Yeah. Brake caliper compressor. I've always just used a really huge set of pliers generally for doing that. And you can actually use a C-clamp as well, a big C-clamp. You know, But this thing just makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, and it takes a little while because it's got to slowly compress.
Yeah.
But tighten it down. You can wait a second, come back to it.
Now, if you're changing the rear brake pads, I believe you have to disengage the automatic parking brake. So you have to look up your handbook on what specific vehicle you have to do that. Because it's a matter of sticking your foot on the gas pedal, holding it to the floor, turning on the ignition, holding the parking brake button down for 2 seconds, and then you'll see it flash up on the dashboard, parking brake disengaged for maintenance. But because every car might be slightly different, just think about that before you do the back brakes and check that out. Okay, so putting the right side back together.
Need to make sure you compress that.
Just compress those little concertina rubber things. Put the 13mm bolt in the end. Tighten it all up. And Bob's your uncle, as they say in England. So that's it. Good job, Sonny Jim.
Thanks, Dad.
Wheels were such a tight fit on this vehicle, we actually had to use a rubber mallet to get the wheels off, because
There might have been a little bit of electrolysis between the two metals, but
yeah, just
had a real light sheen of rust forming here, which made it pretty hard to get the wheel off.
so we think we're just going to clean it up and put a little bit of never sees, probably just on the center bit, because we don't want to risk never sees flying out and getting on the brake disc. But we just put a little bit on there, which is probably where it was binding on the most, and we'll probably clean up the inside of the wheel a little bit. And like always, when you're working on a vehicle, always make sure you put axle stands underneath it on the frame when you're working on a car. Never rely on the jack, but you guys know that. Okay, so you have to remove 3 of these little plastic clips on the inside of the fender there. So we haven't got the right tool for doing it, so he's using a screwdriver
And a pick to get it started.
and a pick just to pull you pull the center down.
Yep, pull the center down and then the clip comes out.
Okay, so you pull the center of the clip down and then it comes out. But obviously if you've got a clip removing tool, then this makes it really easy. In fact, I think I might have one at my house I can go and get if you want some, Jim.
That's all right. I think it's only a couple clips.
So actually where his hand is right now, where he has to disconnect it is actually right above that area there, I believe. He's going to put his hand up in there and you'll feel it. And right, see how it goes?
Yeah, so I've taken that one out and this one here.
Yeah, and you've got to take that one in the back there.
Let's see.
You've got to take that one out too, Sanjay.
Let me try this little tool. That one came out a lot easier.
Yeah. At least we've got one which you guys can actually see how they come out. And you pull the whole center out.
I just pops up.
Right. And then we should be able to fold this down. Let me
I don't know if you can see that. I can feel it. I got to get my head in there and make sure that's it.
yeah, there it is. There's a connection right there. His hand's right on it.
So Dad, if you want to hold this plastic back, I can get both hands on there and see if I can unflip. Here's the little tab. The tab's on the part going up to the vehicle. So you need to push down with your right hand and pull with your left. And here's the cable.
Right, there's the thingy. There's the cable. Where's the other end, Jim? So you push down on a bit connected to the vehicle?
Yeah, so the clip was on this piece higher up.
Yeah.
So you need to push on where it compresses.
Yeah.
And then this kit I ordered has 2 in it. It looks like they're the same thing.
Yeah, this one's for the front and one's for the back.
And they're the same length. I'm just gonna put one of these in. Do the reverse of taking it off. See if I can get my head in here again. Get it all lined up. It can only go in one way. I didn't hear a definitive clip, but it feels like it went together pretty well. And it won't pull apart. So then once that's done,
It goes over, does it, Sonny Jim?
I think it did go over. So,
All right, so we're putting the cable back in.
all right, so make sure you pay attention to how it was routed because it kind of snakes around quite a lot. So it appears that the first, once it's clipped in, it goes there. Oh, sorry. And this is actually gonna go like this.
Okay, so it's going to kind of come back on itself.
Then it's gonna clip into here. And your next point is right here. And you have 2 little snap-ins here with the green clips. And that goes around this point and comes back into this clip. And then your final one is gonna go on here. And then your sensor just snaps in right here, right into the rear brake,
Sweet.
the brake pad. And that is pretty much it. Hopefully the light goes out, or I'm gonna be doing the back brakes next.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're going to have to reset the light.
Make sure everything's nice and secure.
Put our little plastic pins back in. And
If these clips end up breaking on you, I'm pretty sure you can get them from just about any auto store.
yeah. Hey, good work. So you don't really need a video on how to put a wheel on, but Maximilian's buttoning it up now, and hopefully some of you guys find this video fairly helpful. You know, you watch a lot of these videos and people miss out bits of it. You know, we haven't done a really deep dive into it, but we've covered every aspect of it, from unclipping the wire, finding out where it goes for the sensor, taking the plastic clips out, and basically I think covered everything that you need to see. And like I said, hopefully it helps you guys out. Anyway, have a great day, and catch you next time. So thanks for watching, and please like, share and subscribe, and check out our other videos. You guys have a great day.